Actually, no.
All right, everybody, it's Saturday night. Happy 7-Eleven, and welcome to another live edition of The Ravens Flock. Happy 7-Eleven day, folks. Now, unfortunately, 7-Elevens are not giving out free Slurpees, but still, if you want a nice, tasty Slurpee, but, you want to stay safe,
Buy one for yourself.
buy one for yourself.
Yeah.
Or, if I'm not mistaken, 7-Eleven is on DoorDash now.
I won't lie, I still prefer Thorstons because they got that huge variety of smoothies and ice cream. I can't beat that, I'm sorry.
Okay, fair enough. So, this is the 11th of July, and it's been an awesome week. I'm here with my comrades here, Mr. Angel Mendez, host of Los Amigos Play.
It is a pleasure to see you once more from the land of freedom and scarcity.
Just do us a favor and try to keep up with us. And, of course,
The
man here, our director, host of The Black Files, putting in the man hours in the great production of The Ravens Flock, Mr. Juan Arauz.
What up?
Absolutely.
This is the story of the girl.
And before we get into this, let's give a brief shout out to Juan Arauz, who was on last night's show. Juan, tell us a little about that.
Well, first
Just
off,
for a little brief highlight.
first things first, saying hi to our friend over here, Noro Taku. Hi, my Titan Geek Squad, especially this guy.
Yes.
Who's big about Titan.
This is the Ravens Flow coming to you live from the top of the walls, which have just been recently sealed by our Lord and Savior, Aaron Bombastic Jaeger over here.
Yes, indeed. Juan, continue.
All right. If anyone saw my personal post, I try not to make a big deal of it, but you know what? Fine, I'll stroke a little ego for myself. Last night, I was live on Twitch with another geek group who call themselves Geeks 5 Ever. They invited me on due to the news of anime Matsuri actually deciding to, at the very last second, cancel for this year, which is actually part of our first topic over here.
Yes.
And by the way, for the record, as I said last night on their stream, with full-blown consent, hi there, Anime Matsuri. We are the Ravens Flock. I'm never going to go to your convention. If I ever do, you'll never see me coming, and screw you.
Anime Matsuri, you are the devil's taint of the con community.
Oof. And that's coming from us. Florida's got some bad, shady actors over
We
here.
should know. We live in Florida. We are the world's taint of the United States. We know what we're talking about.
Especially with us being the #1 epicenter for all coronavirus infections.
Piss on your corpses, you disrespectful shitbag.
We're going to beat all those numbers, guys. Those were rookie numbers, and they're getting stronger. And wait, that's not supposed to be a good thing. Shit.
Yes, while we're glad that Anime Matsuri, one of the shittiest cons in the United States, has certainly closed down, although they should have picked a better timing, unfortunately, there were other cons in the state of Florida, of course, that we would have preferred to, well, if circumstances were different, that we would have preferred to have remained open.
Unfortunately, the storm respects no one, be it fool or wise. So, on top of Anime Matsuri, there were other cons that had to regretfully close the door down, lest the bodies begin to pile up.
Yes, indeed. 3 days ago, on July 8th, Spooky Empire have released an official statement, essentially, that they are canceling this year. I have the statement in front of me. This time, I'm reading, so all conventions...
Nora's asking, so all conventions are closed?
It's a little too soon to tell, but...
Just a lot of the big ones.
A lot of the big
ones that we know about. There might be a few minor ones here and there, but... as it stands, it would be ill-advised to go to any of those as it is.
Indeed. Now, Juan has read statements before from other cons. I'm going to have a turn at this, so please bear with me. Good morning, Spooky family. While we have been doing our best to bring a little Spooky Empire into our lives this year, unfortunately, it just isn't in the cards. All of the planning in the world would still not help us execute the caliber of event that we are used to producing, and more importantly, the kind of event that you're used to attending. There's just no way we could put it out a product this year, put our name on it, and be proud. With the state we are in here in Florida, even a few days in the future is unpredictable. Keeping our attendees, vendors, staff, and volunteers and families safe is paramount to us, and taking the risk at bringing everyone together right now is not something we're comfortable with, nor does it make it easy to plan a large event. Everything involved in this production is affected from travel to meet and greets and parties to photo ops. Not to mention the financial burden of safety protocols, capacity limits, and cancellations. So that means both Spooky Empire events have officially been canceled as of today. That includes the August event at the Wyndham in Orlando, Florida, and the Halloween event in Tampa. We thank the Wyndham and the City of Tampa's Convention Center for working with us this year and for their cooperation. We are absolutely crushed by this final decision, but we know it's ultimately the best one for everyone. Moving forward, we are very excited that we already have our dates for 2021 locked in so that we can plan a blowout like no other next year. There's a lot of other details listed here as far as the dates for next year, including ticket information and requesting a refunds, etc. If you're following them on Facebook, Facebook.com, look up Spooky Empire. You'll find all the details that you need.
And another one down, and another one down, and another one bites the dust.
So how was my reading? Was that good?
Oh, that was very nice, very precise. And
thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes, once more, the circumstances have forced yet another con to shut down, and
they had 2 events.
Yeah.
2 events, one for next month and one in Halloween weekend.
Now they got 0 events.
Now they got 0.
Now, on the bright side, that means that all of our fellow con-goers who can't stop complaining about their lack of money and funds and food can actually do something smart and budget for the next year. Think of this as an opportunity to recoup your losses and prepare yourself. Next year, hopefully this virus won't be around, the cons will return, and we'll be able to see our friends in beautiful, glorious cosplay.
I feel like this is something that we've already addressed weeks every time we announce a cancellation of a
We
con.
have to.
I know, we have to.
Like, you gotta remember, like, most folks, and I'm taking my glasses off because I'm tired of the glare of the monitor right in front of us in the camera.
Sharing gun is activated. Oh, Jesus.
Careful, those are expensive.
Yeah, they're expensive. Okay,
Please tell me that was leather and not your ass.
that was the leather.
Okay,
Of my ass.
Bro!
Ladies, the guys, gals, and non-binary pals, friends, and colleagues of the flock, unite under this simple fucking message. Enjuágase su fucking nalgas! Wipe your ass! Wash your hands! For Christ's sake, please help us flatten this curve. It's killing me here, Smalls.
All Juan needs to do is...
Oh, hang on a minute. We got a burst of comments here. All Juan needs to do is breakdance.
Well, he could do it, but he's a father. The responsibilities of fatherhood weigh so heavily on his shoulders. His agility has gone down, but his wisdom has gone like way the fuck
Do
up.
not underestimate him. At some point, Juan will breakdance. I'm not saying it's now.
I'm not saying he couldn't. I'm saying that when he does, it'll be because like his child is in danger or something, and he'll be like, "I must break the shackles of father." Just fucking go broadly.
Hey, if nothing else, Juan here will get some great cardio.
Indeed.
Oh my
and you guys
God.
will all get a great show. But that's not the point of any of this.
Right.
Me breakdancing is not the point. The point is we need to go along with this shit. As much as it kills us, as much as it pains us to see all these cons dropping like mayflies upon the heat and wrath of this stupid beer bug coronavirus bullshit. We're motherfuckers who rely on conventions for content on this stinking channel.
Yep.
And if we're over here saying, okay, we're fine with the cons not running this year, you know that we're not saying this shit for personal clout, for personal gain, for any sort of material gain of any kind. For Christ's sake, it's killing me that we still have some conventions like Collective Con up in Jacksonville still planning to run next weekend.
Next weekend.
In Jacksonville.
Well,
They're still planning on running.
I guess they'll collectively all get sick.
This is ridiculous. And there's been no announcements yet.
Oh no, there's plenty of announcements. Oh, we're going to have temperature checks, and we're going to enforce social distancing, and everyone must wear a mask, and you must this, you must have that, and if you when you come in, you have to sign an affidavit saying that you are not sick. You think that nerds and geeks like us who go to these cons, motherfuckers who don't even bother to freaking scrub their asses and
I know for a
axilas.
fact that every single geek and nerd in this room has taken good care of their personal hygiene.
I'm not talking about us. I'm talking about the general
I
population.
scrub like a horse in retirement. Don't put me to this group, bro.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about you specific or me or Jose specific. As a matter of fact, before we started working today, I literally had come straight out of the shower. I was humming Outcast, so fresh and so clean, as I came out, and Angel agreed to me when he came in.
Squeak when we rub our fingers together.
Yes.
Point case being,
The point is, when you have any sort of capacity of geeks in one spot, they're going to be ranked as a motherfucker to begin with. You really think that they're going to follow social distancing? You really think that they're going to be honest about their fucking health? People are bumping uglies at these conventions and not telling anyone, oh, by the way, I got the crabs or whatever. You really think that they're going to be discrediting? Oh no, shit like that happens in conventions.
It really
you really
does
think that we're going to be honest? Like, oh, by the way, I've been feeling fluish and feverish for the past 2 weeks but I'm totally going to go to this convention in full-on body armor and get myself laser thermometered at my forehead. And if I keep my temperature below 100.5 degrees, which is well stated on their statement, then I'm going to go ahead and stroll on in for a 3-day weekend. Jason David Frank, the legendary Green Ranger, is going to be there. He's going to need to wear one of his goddamn helmets in order to keep himself safe. All right?
Okay.
He's got like 5 of them. He's got enough helmets to spare.
Yeah.
Folks, please. This is not this year is definitely not the time to go to any conventions because we still have not heard any progress towards combating against COVID-19.
Nothing! So there's still assholes who are trying to say that's a hoax.
Of course they are. Don't you know all those 5G towers? Well, was it G5?
It was the 5G towers.
Man, the Titans are in the walls, and they're spreading corona.
That has nothing to do with
That has nothing to do with it. But good on you for being a fan.
In the words of simple terms, wash your ass. In the words of the Spanish terms, lávense las nalgas. I am going to say in Japanese, Ochirio wakarate. There. Was that easy enough for you?
Good job. Mother of God!
Hang on, I got to run it back in German just to make sure that this don't show.
Oh my God, he's Google
Washington Ashtum.
Washington Ashtum?
Yes.
Washington Ashtum. Yeah.
Wow.
Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
Like, we cannot put it in any other fucking term. You people need to understand that it is so
singing Outcast so fresh and so clean while eating cookies and screaming pocky.
Cookies and cream
pocky. Cool.
That's literally my favorite kind of pocky, the cookies and cream one.
Indeed. That being said,
I gotta roll it back in Italian tune.
One more time.
Stupido.
Okay, yes. Right, that's it.
Yeah,
so,
simple enough, right? I went through 6 languages. A simple sentence, not that hard to understand.
Yes. With that said, folks, please follow this. Follow the standard guidelines. Wash your hands. Take a shower. Practice social distancing. Even if you're going into a place where there's no social distancing, like in fact, don't even go there at all. Don't go.
Just stay at home, please.
Just stay at.
You remember Home Alone? Do that, but with yourself.
Now, I must say this again because yes, Juan, Angel, you guys are right. This is something that we do need to repeat the message as much
Even
as I
though
don't
we've
like
been repeating it every single episode.
We've been repeating it.
That's because I haven't gone a single episode since 2020 started not saying, please take good care of yourselves.
No. I'm not talking about that part. I'm talking about the next part, the part where it's on them.
Well, yeah.
If you have a ticket reserved, and if you're still planning to go, or if you don't have a ticket reserved, and you are still going to Collective Con, despite the current pandemic, despite the lack of positive progress towards combating said pandemic, then the choice falls on you.
There is only so much outside factors can do to be responsible for the consequences of your actions.
Because
I'm sorry to interrupt you. The fact that our viewers haven't particularly decreased makes me hopeful that whatever few people listen to us are actually following common sense. Please follow common sense.
Please follow common. There is no excuse not to follow common sense. The majority of attendees that attend to these cons in the United States, they're young adults.
Yes.
They're young adults ranging up. Yes. Let's not kid ourselves.
And of course, there are younger folks who.
They're children sometimes.
Sometimes there are children, yeah. But hopefully they've got parents who know better. But if they ain't, then
as for the organizers of Collective Con, and this is in Jacksonville, Florida, right?
Yes.
Okay. No, I'm sorry. I have to say this, and I'm sure that my compatriots here will agree. Hang on a minute. Another comment from Noro Otaku. In Arkansas, it's so hot outside, you can bake cookies outside. So I stay inside my cool apartment. I hate this country heat.
If there's any consolation,
there's no line.
Trust me, you're nowhere near as low on the equator as you should be to experience the real.
Well, it could be worse. It could be in the Sahara Desert.
You could be in Florida.
No, it couldn't.
Come to Florida and feel this heat.
At least
our heat is wet.
At least the Sahara has the benefit of having really cold nights to compensate for that. Over here, we get the sticky, wet heat that just clings to your skin like a film of like
shit. You're right. Our weather is disgusting.
If I pull it out, it feels like a layer of crazy glue just coming off my arm. It's disgusting. I'm gonna have 3 showers when I get home.
I'm getting way off the point. All right. So the point.
I wanted to get to Anime Matsuri in a minute, but go on.
Yes, I would like to say, and my compatriots here would agree. We, the Ravens flock, condemn the decisions of Collective Con from Jacksonville, Florida, to continuing hosting this event. Now, with no updates of what they're going to do, and with no guarantee, like their safety guidelines, there's no guarantee.
I literally said all the guidelines of what they're doing. It's
not
still a
enough.
bad idea.
That's not enough.
It's still going to be a
That's
bad
not
idea.
enough, and we're still condemning them.
On the let's say that we go for the hypothetical 100% impossible scenario and say that every single person going to that con takes care of their own hygiene and makes sure to wash their hands and wear masks. You're going to cram hundreds of people into an enclosed space, many of them wearing restrictive and stuffy costumes. The amount of bodily fluids going around there will be enough to fill a fucking small pool. And those people are going to be there, standing, walking around for hours, very close to each other. That's a risk no matter which way you put it. That shit is in the air, man.
Yeah.
There's a reason I ain't going back to the gym until this whole thing is cleared up. I want to go back to the gym. I'm getting big down here. All that steak is getting to me, if you know what I'm saying. I ain't going to stop cooking, though. But in case,
Don't
sorry.
stop.
I really want to go back to my usual routine of going to the gym and relaxing and doing exercise and then going home and spending the rest of my day watching internets and playing video games. But I understand that I can't. And we understand that we can't.
Right now, it's just not a good time.
It's a bad idea, bro. Unless you want to have a bad time. Hey.
So anyways, Juancho, take over.
Now, the dumbest thing about this was since we were also talking about Anime Matsuri, which takes place in Texas, in Houston over there.
In the ancient realm of Texas.
Yes, that same one.
Go on.
The reason why they're closing for this year has nothing to do with any sort of conscientious decisions towards being safe in the midst of this coronavirus situation.
Of course.
No. They closed because they canceled this year after growing outrage from fans of the convention, attendees who have their tickets, and that announcement was made on the very last day of their return policy for refunds. So they waited to the final hour to make their decision.
I used to think the video game companies had the shitty practices for refunds.
No. The practices from Anime Matsuri, the organizers, it's the drizzling shits, right?
So you're telling me
terrible.
They purposely held back the announcement until they knew they could get away with the money.
Yep.
Now,
Fucking thieves.
don't quote me on this, but where I come from, that's called theft.
A little.
I could be wrong, because, culture clash.
It would have been theft if they decided to cancel on the day after the return policy and not decided to provide any sort of return mechanism. However, they had so cleverly announced on the last day, you can go ahead and we're going to extend our return policy to the end of July, and you could also exchange your ticket for to an Anime Matsuri 2021.
Oh,
You know who did that? You guys know who did that?
Who?
You guys remember Fire Festival?
Oh!
You guys remember the time? Guess what? That was one of the options. Hey, I know it didn't work out, but you can double down for next year.
No! How about no?
I guarantee you. The only reason they revealed that information is because if they actually scraped past the finishing line and essentially took all the money, they would not survive next year. Nobody would show up.
Yeah.
Under those conditions, nobody would want to show up.
There's already
You can milk the cow so many times before it starts bleeding. You know what I'm saying?
There's the problem is Anime Matsuri over in Texas and Houston. They already have problems. We covered them before. I told you about them. How they tried to go after a fellow YouTuber, Scarfing Scarves.
Yes.
They have a history of letting the con owner himself sexually harassing girls in Lolita outfits, sexually harassing guests,
Fucking disgusting.
not compensating volunteers who actually work beyond their
overtime bonus. Fuck you.
No, the guy's already scum to begin with. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you caught this, but if you watched the Twitch stream from Friday night, where I was a guest of Geeks 5 Ever, it turns out the problem that happened a few years back with a dude dressed in actual, full-blown, literal Nazi uniform and raided a panel for terrible fanfiction reading.
Dude.
It turns out that panel space was originally held by and canceled in advance by the host of the stream I was on, Geeks 5 Ever. They canceled it in February of 2018.
Because he was using a name that was equal to theirs, basically.
No. Let me break it down. They had a panel. They saw the bullshit that Anime Matsuri was doing. They canceled the panels in February. They didn't bother taking it off of their itinerary or anything on their scheduling for the con. So this Nazi dude showed up, said, "Oh, I'm part of this panel," even though there was no panel, even though the guys from Geeks 5 Ever weren't there at all.
Bruh.
Yeah.
And he read terrible fan fiction reading of Anne Frank falling in love with Goku.
What?
And, oh, no, you know that.
It's stupid. It's absolutely stupid.
Part of me is tempted to find that retarded story.
Dude, and the convention did nothing to stop him.
Of course.
They let him run around in full Nazi regalia before, almost for the full weekend before the complaints actually came in.
Let's get one thing straight. There's only one Nazi in fiction that is cool enough and actually enough a good person to be in regalia in a con. His name is General von Stroheim. Because German science is the greatest in the world. That motherfucker was saving lives from JoJo 2.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. By the way, that man was the inspiration for Guile from Street Fighter.
Ha!
Look up his hairstyle sometime.
Oh,
Point
God.
cases. What?
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
Now, Juan, I believe I sent you some additional information yesterday
Oh, crap.
before you.
Yeah.
Tell me about this. It just gets worse and worse.
Well, I've told you about it before. The problem is he just forgot.
You do tend to forget.
I keep trying to block my memory of horrible things. The world already has enough bad shit happen.
Yeah, it
Give me a
does.
second, because they did send me shit about...
Man, this is the level of skull.
Yeah, I've sent some information over prior to Juan joining.
Like, Jose had sent me information about the thing about Anime Matsuri. Apparently, the cancellation of the convention was mandated by the city of Houston 2 weeks before the convention actually announced it.
So if the city didn't tell them anything fast enough, they would have just kept that shit rolling.
They would have kept it rolling.
The garbage train on fire going to the station, running over all the babies.
As of 2 weeks before the announcement, the city of Houston already said Anime Matsuri is not happening.
Hey,
No,
cut that shit
by
out.
order of our city hall, whatever. No, we're canceling that event. And the fucking convention themselves didn't say or do jack shit about it until the last day of their refund.
2 weeks. Now, guys,
Yeah.
educate me a little bit.
Mhm.
Now I understand some things take time to achieve.
Mhm.
Some things take time to do. It's perfectly comprehensible. But I understand that putting an announcement online on your website takes about 5 fucking minutes.
Yeah.
So I would like somebody to explain to me how in the glorified holy shit does an announcement take 2 weeks to show up after the city tells you cut that shit out?
Let me ask you something. You're wearing sneakers right now, yes?
They're very comfortable, yes.
How are they cleanliness-wise underneath?
I washed them yesterday.
Okay.
I put them like...
How are they before you washed them yesterday?
They were pretty filthy and dirty, yes.
Those particles of filth and scum are the prototypes of the filth and scum that runs Anime Matsuri.
Jesus.
So fuck those guys.
Fuck those guys.
Please take into account that we don't go into a con. What? Yes, it does. Yes, it certainly does. Please take into account we don't go into cons wanting them to fail and shut down. Okay? You don't walk into a Star Wars movie wanting it to be bad. You don't walk into a Transformers movie wanting it to. You want the things you love to be good. But let's be honest. For what someone has told me, the people that run this con, I have seen car salesmen, used car salesmen, less slimy than these dudes.
Yeah, no, there's no defending it. There's no redemption. This is it. Like, this is a one-way ticket for them. They have nowhere to go but down because of their poor business practices and their poor PR practices.
Scum.
No, seriously though, that is the fact that you know what this reminds me of. Remember when the corona hit and the city of Pennsylvania told GameStop shut down, or we literally make you cease to exist.
Wait, it was the state of Pennsylvania.
Yes,
the entire state.
And GameStop tried to get away with some bullshit about. They were literally trying to bribe their co-workers to get in the stores and risk their lives. And if the police showed up, they were supposed to discuss things with the police. I'm like, no! When the
by order of the governors.
What the boys in blue do when you piss them off?
Yeah.
You want to look at the police and debate them? Because I'm not going to debate the guy that tells me to get on the ground with a gun on his hip. That could very quickly not be on his hip. And as a result, the state basically said, well, yeah, because of that, GameStop doesn't exist anymore here. Bye.
Like, but
no bucks.
power to the players.
Be gone.
We'll give you $10 for that.
Well, guess what? The cops like to play video games too. Hey, boys, how was your aim in Call of Duty? I thought you never asked. Hey, I am no one to advocate for police brutality.
Not at all. We do not.
Yes.
But when the cops march into your establishment and tell you this needs to stop, option A is not debate the cop. Option B is not get pissed at the cop. And option C is most certainly do not confront the cop.
Ever.
You do what the person with the gun is telling you and get the fuck out.
Yeah. But no,
God damn it, man.
But yeah, no, that being said, yeah, no, Anime Matsuri is the shits.
Yep.
That bag of cookies a representation of my brain because it's crumbling right now.
No, this bag of cookies is just something that I got on clearance.
Enjoy.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
sorry.
It's oatmeal raisin.
Fuck.
Sorry, I don't like oatmeal raisin.
Why do you bring this cursed thing onto this land?
Okay, he's being a
I
little
eat
dramatic.
the curses.
What is wrong with you? Jesus
What's
Christ.
wrong with me? Have you seen my life?
It's not bad enough to justify raising cookies, man.
Also, why are you being dramatic about oatmeal raisins? Did the oatmeal raisins kill your
Well, let me
parents in
put
the
it this
dark
way.
alley?
They just don't taste that good.
Let me put it this way. You see that little Ziploc bag over there?
How about it?
It's got double stuffed Oreos. That's also mine.
I can forgive that on the grounds of that.
You know what?
What the fuck, bro?
You see the yellow... Would you like one?
Yay.
You may have.
Please.
All right, so with that said, con cancellations, Anime Matsuri can go fuck off. Spooky Empire, thank you very much for doing
the responsible thing.
Doing the responsible thing and posting all the information that people need to know whether they want their monies refunded or whether they want to roll over their tickets for next year.
I fucking hate this.
The information is available. It's posted on their Facebook page if you haven't subscribed to them yet.
Worst thing I've eaten today, seriously.
And yet you're eating it.
Yeah, you're eating it.
I can't stop myself. Help.
But no.
It is as if an unknown will is guiding me through paths on the surface.
If you want it, you want it. If you don't, you don't.
Oh my goodness. You know
I
what?
say I'm not in control of my own mouth.
Yeah.
There is a me inside of my head screaming me to stop. I can't stop.
Dude, a lot of people are not in control these days. I mean,
it has no mouth and it must scream.
especially on social media, nobody is in control of themselves. I mean, come on, look at TikTok. Look how many people go on TikTok and actually lose their shit on social media.
To be fair, though, I feel like they're trying to make up for the loss of Vine. Because TikTok is basically Vine.
Yes.
But it's fun.
They're both one.
Excuse me, I'm a representative of the government of the United States. Do you say something is fun?
Yeah, well, guess what? We're representatives of the Ravens flock, and we say fun is allowed.
Yeah, HO, are you betraying us to join the government?
You don't understand. I work for the government. Don't tear my loyalties apart like this! Aaron! Anyway,
unfortunately, what Angel just said is not far from the truth right
it
now.
appears that the government of the United States, in a brilliant move, galaxy brain, 5D chess, into the future through the power of paths, Lord bless our founder, Jimmy, has decided that for some reason, TikTok needs to go down. And honestly, that's all I know. Could you guys specify what
And I think Juan has more information on this.
Okay.
Because this is hilarious.
So, go on.
Okay.
God, I hate this cookie.
So,
Okay, here's what I'm going to do. If you don't want the last bite, okay,
no,
there you go.
he's going to eat it.
Hell, please.
Okay. Excuse me.
Yeah, no, go on. Take your time. So, yeah, the U.S. government wants to put a ban on TikTok. Why is that?
No, not the whole government. Here's the stupid problem of it.
Okay.
There are idiotic members of Congress, specifically Republicans, in the House of Representatives and in the Senate, who believe that since TikTok is an app that is basically partially funded by the Chinese government, and since TikTok is exceptionally popular for K-pop boy bands, they believe that TikTok is a surveillance apparatchik that was designed for the purpose of destroying the American government through the use of ganking dances and shit, and cute California girls dancing and singing along.
Keep going.
In order to infiltrate the zeitgeist of American culture with Chinese and Korean values. And they don't. And the thing is, they don't differentiate because K-pop and K-rock are primarily South Korean. If there was anything happening in North Korea, we would never know because North Korea is North Korea.
Why do we have a problem with South Korea? Aren't they the ones that are...
Oh, no, but it's Korea. No, they don't say South Korea. They don't differentiate. They just say Korea.
We need a sequel to the interview, like fucking... because this is getting stupid.
Oh,
And because of this, we literally have idiotic members of
keep going.
state and federal government who are calling for the app TikTok to be banned in the United States in order to protect American values, in order to protect the American society from the horrible evils of K-pop dancing.
So let's get one thing out of the way. There's no fucking way this is going through.
No.
Like, this literally is not going to happen. Also, if they wanted to stop Chinese influence over our values, how about you stop letting them get their hooks into the gaming industry and censoring our shit?
I believe TikTok became a thing since, like, what? The app came out in, 2014, 2016?
It's been going for a while, yeah.
Yeah.
Somewhere around that couple of years or so, Vine was around, but then it got shut down for reasons that I don't remember. Then Twitch kind of took over, and then somewhere over, like, the dominance of Twitch, TikTok just kind of sneaked his way in by doing its own thing and bringing back what people wanted. Honestly, I'm less worried about the K-pop fans. I'm more about that bizarre superpower that TikTok has to turn all men into, like, gay strippers.
What? Oh, come on, man. That's a rumor.
Haven't you seen that? Like, they start playing that same song about bad boys, the camera pans away, and suddenly everybody's shirtless and wearing leather jackets, and I'm like, it's me? Because, I mean, I appreciate it, but no. It's weird.
For the record, we don't necessarily know if the guys jumping into leather apparel and regalia automatically makes them gay or not.
Yeah, dude, you're just judging on a surface level.
I'm just saying, bro, I've seen it enough times.
It's also happened with ladies. Yeah.
Yes. Unfortunately, none of them are in TikTok shirtless with nothing but a goddamn leather jacket. I'm feeling a severe lack of equality.
You ain't looking at the same TikTok videos that I am.
That's the problem. If I look at the other ones, they take me to the place where I'm not supposed to go during work hours. And
you mean TikTok?
So what you're trying to say is TikTok is not for you.
I tried it a few times.
Have you really?
I just couldn't find the humor in it. Perhaps I have changed, and I have grown older. The things that I find funny are different. For example, real life is funnier right now than any comedy skit could ever hope to be.
Hey, it's okay. TikTok is not for everyone, but it is a great place to interact with other people, post whatever funny videos you want, whether it's dance videos or whether it's videos that are reenacting scenes from your favorite TV shows, anything you like.
And it's when he shows me cooking recipes. That's the good stuff.
Yeah, and it's harmless. I even heard another rumor that apparently, I don't know if it's related to Trump, but apparently they want to shut down TikTok because it has something to do with something to do with the voters or whatnot.
No, okay, you're gonna love this one. No, you're gonna love this one.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
Okay, it's not voters. Here's what's up. The rally that Donald Trump tried to host.
Oh yeah.
I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago.
That hilarious
in Tulsa, Oklahoma. He was touting like crazy how there was overwhelming results in requests for tickets that they couldn't fill it all. They went over capacity. They were expecting hundreds of thousands of people to show up because of all of these requests coming in for tickets for these rallies.
Oh boy.
And it turned out to not even like that the actual attendance couldn't even fill the building.
I know, I saw the pictures. It was hilarious.
Now, it turns out that apparently a couple of folks using TikTok were showing people how to fill out requests for tickets to the rally using less than honest email addresses.
Oh boy.
And phone numbers in order to and they spread that information via TikTok in a means of, well, trolling Trump. And immediately once that was discovered and disseminated to the public, Trump and his little cronies in the Republican Party have been saying, "Oh, this is Chinese government infiltrating us." It ain't. Oh
my God!
It's not the Chinese government. It's your boys at 4chan who did that.
I always knew those bastards.
Oh, hey, your boys at 4chan did something good.
The boys.
The boys are back in town.
Actually known as the science team now. We are fighting for the progress of humanity.
The boys are back in town.
So, yay! Congratulations, 4chan. You did something right for a change.
Yay! Regardless of the matter. Oh, and before you guys question out there, I don't post. I just browse. I'm like on the edge of the looking glass.
Angel is what is called a lurker.
Yeah, I lurk mysteriously.
Bro, you lurk so hard, we're still trying to pull you out of that rabbit hole.
Oh, I never left. Part of me will always be Trash! But I digress. So essentially what you're telling us is our illustrious president received less than optimal numbers for his rally because the people that don't like him essentially said, hey, let's fuck with him.
Yeah.
You know what? Every now and then we need to be reminded of how incredibly out of touch our government is with the thing that runs their whole fucking government.
Not to mention how fucking insecure our current president is.
Guys, I just realized a terrifying thought. The White House must have an IT guy.
Mm-hmm.
That man knows how the government works better than the government.
Yeah.
The technical support department of the White House has more power than the actual White House. It's probably some Indian dude in a corner somewhere with a white shirt and a black tie, desperately wanting to go home to eat his curry in peace.
You know,
Probably.
America!
Either that
you
or...
know what's the best part?
What?
If that's true, then this guy knows precisely what is going on.
And
he's just refusing to tell Trump because fuck that part.
Actually, here's the beautiful part, though. He's got an alibi. The IT guy is not required to keep watch of everything 24/7. Their job is to call them when something goes wrong, which means that after the rally, the IT guy got called in and went, oh, this is what happened.
Oh dear.
Yeah. No, I can't fix it. It already happened. Why are you asking me this? Stop it.
That's terrible. Can't you do anything better about it?
No. This is a legitimate meme. Like, they made a fake email. They used it to do the thing. It's still legitimate. Deal with it.
As it is...
Has it occurred to you, Mr. President, that people maybe just don't like you very much?
Yeah. As it is, this is a feeble attempt to try and get some sort of control over us citizens. It's not going to work because TikTok is so fucking harmless. It's just there for fun.
Just another stupid social media platform. It's filled with the same kinds of people you see in every other media platform.
It's stupid but fun.
Now,
Yes.
however, at the risk of being that one asshole, I must point out for the sake of objectivity that there is legitimate concern about TikTok's source code basically being developed by the Chinese government,
Yeah, that's broken.
meaning that the privacy and terms and conditions policy for the app requires that any sort of identifying information that you have gets sent to the Chinese government.
That's the other reason why I don't go in there. Like, I don't trust them guys. Listen, I already give away my information every time I fucking swipe my credit card, okay? That's already bad enough, but I understand the necessity of it.
I mean, you don't order anything in the mail? I mean, or you don't order anything online?
You know, my Pizza Hut history would say otherwise. Anyway, point in case is, I don't want somebody on the other side of the world to get their hands on my shit for God knows what. The only people on the other side of the world I want them to get their hands on my shit are PlayAsia when they gave me all those imported video games. And the Russian bride. But anyway, point in case is, you make a good point. It is untrustworthy to have a social media platform be that well connected to the Chinese government that is well known for doing espionage, sabotage, and censorship. And I gotta be honest with you, I don't like number 3 a hell of a lot more than I like number 1 and 2.
If you have any sort of doubts on that, feel free to listen to our episode of the Black Files that we covered the censorship of freeing Hong Kong during a tournament.
Oh, Blizzard.
The Blizzard tournament. So feel free to check that out so you can hear our concerns about it.
Indeed.
Overall, though,
I totally understand.
This is not gonna go through, guys. Like, it's just a social media platform. If you try to shut it down, you need to bring an actual case. And even if you do, they'll just make a different one, and we'll be right back to this crap in like a month.
As a matter of fact, what a lot of folks who have made their names on TikTok are doing as a precaution is they're jumping over to a different app called Dub Smash.
There you go.
Which is already pretty much kind of the same thing.
We already have plans A, B, C, D, and E all the way down to Z and 5.
Yeah, Z and then A through Aardvark. Okay? That's how well played. Like, motherfuckers, do you have any idea how hard it is for them to pass any one particular law through the federal government, let alone banning a fucking platform off of the entire government? You would have to have the cooperation of every internet provider, of every mobile cellular company, and every tech development company, and advertisers. Oh, advertisers, you're going to have a fun time.
All right, hang on a minute. I have a tech question to ask you.
Yeah,
I appreciate it if you don't put me down for this, but this is a legit question because I don't know everything. Because I really don't know everything.
I know, but you're learning.
Yes. For TikTok users, like if we put our information on TikTok on our accounts, like And through our mobile devices, don't we have secured VPNs, like virtual private networks, to protect our information?
Not unless you have it already installed on your phone.
Yeah.
A VPN is its own service altogether.
Okay.
It also usually has like a cost.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's true.
Ultimately, yeah, the Chinese getting their claws on that info is shady as fuck and should be looked into. But aside from that, look at yourself. You had to line up a fucking 10-step process to pass one bill. How long does it take to acquire an internet domain?
An actual internet domain, point and click. If I got money, pay, done.
Just
Yeah.
go, hey guys from TikTok, I know the thing got banned. Here's another platform. We work exactly the same. We're called TalkTick.
No,
Pretty much.
tactic. No, tactic.
Tactical espionage video.
Ah, nice. That being said, I think they underestimate how fast we not only adapt to certain changes, but also how fast we develop apps and contingencies to jump to.
The people are old, man. They barely know how the fucking internet. They're still using AOL, for Christ's sake.
You have to remember, one of the freaking defenses, like the most famous line about how the internet works according to Congress, like, it's not this amorphous cloud, it's a series of tubes. Like,
Zero Kaiba would fire every single one of those people.
Yes, he would.
How dare they defy the brilliance of the Crystal Cloud Network? Also, why was Sagi the Dark clowning his deck?
why isn't Sagi the Dark Cloud in his deck?
But
He likes gay clowns.
it just doesn't fit. Whatever.
Because he needs because he's a businessman who needs a scapegoat.
Fair enough.
Thank you.
But he makes so little sense. Whatever. It's fine. But in cases, this is nothing more than another media scare. A lot of talking and hula about who's gonna go on.
Yeah.
And then they'll see how much money actually goes into this business, and they'll be like, okay, we'll just put some regulations in place.
No, they can't even do that.
They can't do that.
They
So-
won't even be able to get that passed in time. Because like we were mentioning earlier, you're really going to tell advertisers like freaking Burger King
Make
or
less
Pringles,
Yeah,
hey,
for you.
we would like you to make less money for you
Not gonna happen.
on this platform. Okay, what's our incentive? Patriotism and free.
no.
Do you see
Oh
what
wait,
they are making?
you're serious.
This is. Do
Like,
you see all the money we're making? This is patriotism and freedom. Ich lieben Kapitalismus, motherfucker.
Now, that being said, for our attendees out there who do have a TikTok account, the choice is yours. You can either choose to.
Craig,
got
K3,
it.
I'm blessed to be a part of the community.
We are
And
happy to have you here, my friend.
And we, as the Ravens flock, are blessed to have you in the community.
No, say it right. He's a part of the community. That's important.
He's
A part of the. Ah, you are a part of the
Yes!
community. Let's make it. Holy shit! A T-shirt idea. What do you say, guys? A part of the community.
Like,
Cool.
Come on, we're in Tampa. Tampa is represented by the Buccaneers, Pirates.
You know what? They haven't won a game in forever. We might as well put like some victory there for them.
Yar, we need part of this great anime
Yar,
community.
matey, with how hard this industry getting piracy seems to be the only way to enjoy video games anymore.
Yar.
Say it, don't spread.
No, seriously, those fuckers are trying to raise the price of video games to like $70. That ain't fucking gonna fly.
No, that's not gonna fly.
That's not gonna fly, but
Like, I don't care how good the consoles are. $60 is my limit. From now on,
$29.99. None of that $60 online only multiplayer bullshit. Yep.
cases. If they, oh yeah, by the way, the 2K company, the ones that makes all those fucking FIFA games, so they recycle everything over and over and over and over again.
Yep.
They are literally the same. That our next game is going to be $69.99, and the problem is because those games sell, the other companies are going to try to pick up the slack and do the same thing. And guess what? The moment they do that, I'm not buying a single game again. I'm going to either wait for the sale or I'm going to sail the high seas and hoist the flag with my colors.
I didn't hear that. I don't know.
no,
what
me
you're talking
neither.
Fun fact, Cuba used to have a rather extensive history of piracy. The Caribbean was a rather haven for pirates back in the heyday.
about. Oh, is that so?
I doubt it.
In fact, that's
Oh,
what
hang on a minute. We got a couple more comments here. Wancho, help us out.
Oh no, we're getting no.
Just remember, folks,
You guys are dating? Dating who?
Wait.
Well, let's see.
What? Dating each other? Dating what? No.
Let's see.
Angel, is there something you want to tell me?
No, I'm straight.
You sure about that?
I'm married. I'm married to my wife for 11 years.
Let's see. He's married to his wife.
He's
married
single.
to his career. I'm married to myself because I am a selfish man who loves only himself and no one else.
Well, we're just so strongly comfortable and ingrained in our own masculinity that we have zero personal space bubble at all.
Yeah. What they said.
What they said.
Ah,
Well, that being said, hang on a minute. We got another comment here.
That Asian.
I don't know. The Seto Kaiba reference was gold.
Yes, it was.
Oh, hey, check it out. Goku Blanco.
Oh, god damn it. He's here too.
And we're happy that you got it. That being said, back on the subject because I don't want to get us too unfocused here.
Of your work kicking Kieran's ass, I'm pretty sure you could have won that.
If you have an account with TikTok, the choice is yours. You can either choose to keep it, but you're doing so at your own risk, or you can choose to deactivate your TikTok account altogether and explore other options.
Like Dub Smash.
You
I
like
got friends on Dub Smash. We're not trying. We're actually
What
not.
about you? I believe you have a TikTok account.
Yes, I do. I'm on TikTok as well.
This episode of the Ravens Walk is brought to you by Dub Smash, because we don't want to steal your shit.
Anyways, want to go
like, we're not advocating in any way for people to jump abandoned ship. If you like TikTok, if you like that app, by all means, use it to your heart's content.
No, we are not advocating people to jump ship. We are advocating pro-choice.
You know what? That's a very good point.
How does that? What the?
No. We are in favor of people to choose for themselves. They can either choose to go to a different platform, or they can choose to continue with what they have.
Or they can just lurk without making an account.
You mean like you?
He said it, not me.
It's window shopping.
I did say you're looking at the wrong TikTok videos if you're not seeing any of the chicks in leather.
Yeah, man. Who the hell has been showing you those?
So you're fighting the wrong TikTok compilations.
Just say that when I want to look at those images, I don't go to TikTok.
Okay, see that's the thing. Like
sorry, completely unrelated though, but that was a very nice ass.
Oh yes, indeed.
That was like
that came out of nowhere.
I don't know how it happened, but that was like sculpted from marble.
I think I might be able to find it again.
Yes, please show him some good TikTok videos. Just so
no, it wasn't a TikTok video. It was a Facebook story.
Oh, okay.
It was somebody's Facebook story.
We were doing some setup with the equipment. We stumbled across something beautiful. Like, you know when you go to a museum and you're like, yeah, this looks kind of cool, and then you find one of those Greek statues that is so perfectly molded that the stone looks soft.
Right.
Like you could just grab it and squish it in your
maybe
fingers.
hang on.
No, like that.
That's not it.
There's no nice, some crazy dude did that with like a chisel, a hammer, and art. That is genuinely amazing.
So apart from freedom of choice, as far as what the government is saying about TikTok, don't buy into it. It's not going to get shut down. You're not in any danger. This is just nothing more than not only a knee-jerk reaction, but a political scare.
The usual thing. So it's just like we expected about illustrious
Here you go.
By God, it's beautiful.
Indeed.
Look at the shape, the aerodynamic curvature of it.
Unfortunately, we can't show it.
Yeah, if it's from one of our cosplay friends.
If I could build a car out of that shape, it would be the greatest car.
$80,000? This monstrosity costs $80,000? I'm ruined!
Oh my God.
So ultimately, this is exactly what we predicted. A bunch of doddering old men with no knowledge of what they're talking about. Remember that time? What was the name of that guy who made like that poor bastard? He had to go in front of Congress and explain to them how Facebook works.
Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, remember that Mark Zuckerberg? And that guy is sitting there looking at all the old people in suits, basically. Like, you could tell he was trying to hold in the face. Like, oh, Jesus Christ. It's like that.
Yep.
And nothing is going to come up.
Smile, blinking twice.
Do you understand what the old people are saying? Cells interlinked. Do you comprehend what the politicians want? Interlinked.
Oh my God.
Do you understand what the people in suits are telling you?
Cells.
Good. Repeat after me. Interlinked.
Facebook.
Chinese.
It's
Chinese.
a Blade
Runner.
It's a Blade Runner reference in case you
Within
don't
cells
know.
interlinked.
Within cells interlinked.
Okay. I know it's
No one's going to get this.
I know it's a little off topic, but can I once again give my praise to what's the name of the
topic, but yes.
What's the name of the actor again?
Ryan Gosling.
For his excellent portrayal of the character, like
Agent K. Again, if you want to hear our thoughts of Blade Runner 2049, we have a review episode of the Black Files available on our YouTube channel here.
Indeed.
But no, truthfully, they're so goddamn ineffectual. You would need to have them come together for a resolution first, and they're not even going to be able to come together for that.
No,
because you have to understand, in the time that this jackass Donald Trump has been president, he has not been able to pass anything in Congress worthwhile. He hasn't passed his goddamn wall. He hasn't imprisoned Hillary Clinton.
Nope.
He hasn't destroyed Obamacare to its core. there's so much stupid shit. He's chipping away at stuff foundationally, and then you've got guys like the Supreme Court showing up and saying,
Stop.
"No,
You're an idiot. Stop being stupid."
So, in the words of Raiden, typical politician, big promises.
Nothing's going to happen. Yeah.
all talk."
Nothing's going to happen with TikTok. The government's already wrapped up with serious issues as it is, and they're not going to waste their time.
The country's a little busy dying to the newest incarnation of the Black Plague.
We literally have 137,000 people dying at
Sick.
this point.
And you're worried about TikTok? About people on TikTok?
No,
Got a
like,
little too many
the government's
people killing themselves due to the lack of common sense. I think that's a slightly bigger problem.
yeah, like we're not trying to say like, oh, don't worry about TikTok because coronavirus. No, we say like these assholes can't even cover a real physical crisis that is taking the lives of American people along with people around the world. There is no way in hell they're going to be effectual enough to ban an app from the nation.
No way.
They don't have the
They don't know how to
fortitude.
do it.
It's not going
They
to
don't have the testicular fortitude to do it. They don't have the intestinal fortitude to do it.
They don't have the cojones.
They don't have the balls.
Yep, pretty much. You guys have already summed it up. They don't have the balls to do it. They can't afford to do it. And Donald Trump is just, once again, talking out of his ass.
Dude, they just don't know. They don't understand.
They don't know.
No.
So,
Obama would understand.
yeah,
I miss him too.
It's okay.
He was a cool dude, but he's in a better place now. In a vacation.
yeah.
Feeling
Yeah.
young.
Permanent vacation.
And
Oh man.
to be fair though, look at what people are doing now with the virus. If I was the president of the United States and I thought half of the population of my country is actually killing themselves out of some deluded sense of independence, I will retire very fucking quickly.
right.
I'll be like, I'm not running for next year. You motherfuckers want to kill yourselves. I'm good, bruh. Like all this time, we have been under the foolish illusion that our government is to blame for all our problems. They're not. They're to blame for a lot of problems, but we are kind of the architects of our own destruction, aren't we?
We do act like assholes.
Look upon my works, ye mighty, and despair.
We're kind of stupid.
We are.
But like,
For naught is left but the sands of the sea and the memoir of my conquests.
God,
Spray paint of a dick pot in a
Wow, this guy.
dick butt.
Yes. Alexander the Great invented dick pot. This is a historical fact.
Yeah.
Okay, Ymir's blessing aside, hopefully we can get to this one because it's just going to be it's their version of the Red Scare. But what if they do something bad? Bro, we got Corona over here. This is not the Red Scare.
Like-
This is the Red Death.
This is the red plague.
He came into the ballroom holding an mask, and nobody noticed it was him.
And it literally said, I'm about to make this, I'm about to break y'all motherfuckers down, and yes, this will be a slow jam.
It's time.
That being said, I'm also a user of TikTok. It's been a while since I posted a video. I know I haven't done so in weeks. But nonetheless, if any of you on the personal level have my TikTok account, Juan included, yeah, check it out. I will do my best to try to post new videos. It'll be fun. It'll be awesome. I'm looking for material from Family Guy mainly because I love Family Guy.
Because once upon a time, that show was still good.
It still is.
You sure about that?
Well, I haven't watched any recent shows.
Good point. Good. Keep those memories. They're still beautiful within you. Don't forget
Like,
about them.
if you want to go ahead and follow Jose, Jose is on TikTok under his username EvaUnit88,
Eva Unit 88, yes.
and mine is the Juancho86. So
Indeed.
feel free. And we just have simple, I just do simple shit. Sometimes I just do duets with ladies who are in cosplay or whatever. I'm just gonna show this one to Angel.
This episode of the Ravens vlog is brought to you by TikTok.
Oh, my favorite cosplayer. One of my favorites.
That's pretty cool.
Hang on.
Just so y'all can see it.
That was actually funny. Was that you actually seeing, or was that the song?
No, it's the song.
For some
dude.
reason, I kept thinking of Jack Black, but then again, you just kind of made me think of Jack Black in general.
No, that's the beauty part about TikTok. When you do these videos, whether it's a song or whether it's something from a show,
You can.
you're lipping it,
The
and then
image
you're
is looking a little blurry over there.
Yeah, that's because I did.
Yeah.
That's because I refocused to
Yeah.
show this.
Okay, there
Here we
we
go.
using the audio sample generated from TikTok, and you're basically lipping it, and that's what makes it awesome.
Like Of course, you can use your own original sound, which is fine. A lot of folks just like doing voiceover, which is funny and shit. It's dumb shit.
I got you.
Indeed.
It involves fun. You know, that thing that is allowed again.
Yeah.
You're trying really hard to sell me this platform.
I'm not really trying to sell you jack squat. You're fine.
What we're trying to remind you is it's fun.
The thing that you're worried about us never having. We are allowed to have fun again.
We are.
That is fun.
Fun is diversion. Fun is bringing yourself even the slightest modicum of joy and sharing said joy with other people.
So is Corona?
No.
It diverted everybody's attention. It shared its joy with the rest of the people. Nobody can.
Corona isn't
You
joyful.
have a very skewed perspective of what joy is.
Bro, I gotta be honest with you. The sheer the lengths that people go to not take care of themselves, I can't help but to laugh.
Like
You've seen what these people have done.
I know. There's one.
To take care of themselves.
There's this one stupid video of a lady who was rejected from being allowed into a restaurant without a mask, and the door had it was a wooden frame door with a glass pane on it. And after they shoved the lady out the door because she was trying to force her way in, they locked the door, and she literally went in and smashed herself face forward into the glass pane of the door and licking it zombie style.
Idiots!
He's like, I am legend.
It's amazing how spoiled some people are that the merest, slightest inconvenience causes them to abandon all. What is it that the Joker said? These civilized people.
They'll eat each other.
They will eat each other.
What the fuck is wrong with these people? That's just as stupid as that one NBA player who tested positive and he decided to lick everything during the conference.
No, he didn't lick everything. He put his hand up his mouth, and then he had his hands over the microphone.
And then he got fired.
He got fired.
And then he got fired.
Well, that was
Fuck
stupid.
that guy. That is stupid.
They are really making Batman look bad here. Like, can you imagine this happening now? What were you trying to prove? That everyone is just like you?
You're wrong.
Oh, shit, he was right.
Oh, no.
In this time, Joker wouldn't have time to explain what the buttons do before both boats explode.
Yep.
Jeez.
No, it's like, you know,
Wouldn't have time to even go. The first button. What the fuck? No, he'd be like, wow, Jesus, that took like 10 seconds.
like, I wasn't even
Get to the setup. What the hell, man?
like, guys, come on, like, this is supposed to be destroying your heart and soul before you kill each other in fear.
Right.
Hospital, and the hospital explodes before he even gets there. Like,
I didn't set the charges yet.
what the hell's going on?
All this boils
I'm
down to
feeling
this.
so betrayed.
All this is bullshit because, like, there was also this whole report of the bubonic plague is making a comeback in China, and what we've got going on in America right now is we're at a point where if we've got the bubonic plague making even a hint of a sign showing up here, people out of spite, these same assholes who are like, oh, I'm not wearing a mask against a conspiracy. No, these same assholes are the kind of motherfuckers who will grab live rats out of the sewer and lick them and rub them all over their faces. Ha ha, America, motherfucker, and do that shit.
By the way,
Idiots.
remember that they recently released a little medical study showing that Corona can create undead cells within you?
That is
So guess what? We're actually getting zombification.
Great. The old flesh.
Oh, great.
Worship the old ones.
We're moving at the
Shumakora is coming.
We're moving at the speed of a tortoise, but yes, we are getting the zombie apocalypse.
Hey, at least the tortoise is smart enough to not eat his own shit.
Yeah.
For real, guys. Like the moral of the story is TikTok is not going anywhere.
No.
At least not for now. It'll be fine. Enjoy your platform, but also consider alternatives for yourself if you're worried about it actually being banned from the U.S.
Like
That's the beauty of
Dude,
I mean, it counts.
Hey, you know it counts. That's the beauty of the internet. That's the beauty of social media. There's so many different platforms to interact or enjoy yourself. There's a Snapchat. There's Facebook. There is YouTube, where we have our channel. There's also browsing around the internet, looking up whatever you want, like Pornhub. And of course, there's even entertainment platforms such as Hulu.
Pornhub.
I think the cutoff was when the second time I said it.
I know, but also
comedy comes in threes, but that's your third, so we don't get point.
Oh,
All right, so yes,
porn.
we have Hulu, we have HBO Plus, we have HBO.
No, we don't have HBO Plus anymore. We have HBO Max.
What about Disney Plus? We got that one.
We've got Disney Plus.
Disney Plus, Netflix, and you'll find a whole bunch of shows that you've seen before, but all on the internet, including shows that you have not seen before, that you have no idea that they'd existed if you didn't look.
You just gave me a huge amount of nostalgia all of a sudden. You guys remember when you could see entire anime episodes on YouTube?
Yeah,
Those were the
Became episodes
days.
part 1, 2, and 3, and then it became 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then they just disappeared. There was this channel, I remember the name of, I forgot the name actually, and it was nothing but fight scenes from Bleach.
yeah.
It was cool as shit.
You're going to find a lot of things. You're going to
Yeah.
find anime. You're going to find TV shows and movies based off of popular franchises, whether it's books or video games. Some of them are good. Others, well,
have taken a turn.
Funny case is television just doesn't do it anymore. We need entertainment now, god damn it.
Speaking of which, we've actually got there's actually entertainment that has been rumored and announced.
Oh, boy!
hang on a minute, Angel. You might want to take your pills for this one.
No. I'm ready.
Okay,
Give me a minute. Whose open can of Monster is this?
that's mine. Just
Okay.
drink from my mouth.
No,
too.
I was trying to get
I
that.
had a can of Monster the size of my forearm and some raisin cookies. I am fucking ready for this.
Yep. Let me.
According to sources, HBO is going to be adapting a live-action series with the assistance of the creator of the HBO series Chernobyl, Craig Mazin, and the producer of this video game that they're making a series out of, Neil Druckmann of Naughty Dogs. And they are adapting a potential series for The Last of Us.
Oh, you just know how to tease me.
With Nicholas William as Joel and Caitlin Dever as Ellie.
Oh,
All right, you know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to step away
okay.
for a moment, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to give this center stage to Angel. I want him to...
Now, before we do this, though, keep in mind, a couple of weeks ago, we've already detailed that The Last of Us is not a popular game. Not
The Last of Us Part 2.
The Last of Us Part 2 is not a popular game. It has its flaws. It has its problems, including the storyline, which is a major problem. Yet there are still audiences out there who enjoy the game. We're not a big fan about it. So that being said, Angel, since this ties into your caliber, go ahead and take the stage.
Allow me to offer a brief disclaimer before we begin.
Give me a second.
First off, I would like to say to all those people who kept sending death threats to Laura Bailey, please stop doing that bullshit. It makes us look bad. Second, I would like to say to the rest of the staff on Naughty Dog, please stop trying to use those minority death threats to somehow ignore the rest of the very legitimate criticism you're getting, God. You piece of shit.
Now, for the record, I'm actually really stepping out because I also had a monster can the size of my forearm, so I need to go evacuate.
Dude, get your...
Piss it away, like
Dude.
hopes and expectations.
Dude, piss it away. While we're at it, Angel, piss all this away.
Now, to be honest with you, I'm actually feeling kind of...
Really?
Well, see, on one hand, it looks like they're going to adapt the first game, which has at the very least a decent storyline. You know, the usual, we are the real monsters, kind of bullshit. But overall, it's serviceable. The idea of the gruff, angry man with a cynical past and a dark idea of life, with the young girl who is still trying to come to terms with yada, 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 cure. You know, it's a classic story, and it can be done properly. And the fact that they had the writer from Chernobyl, which is one of my favorite things, I highly recommend it to anybody who wants to see some good historical tragedy. It's a fantastic show. 6 episodes only. Kicks ass. That guy, he's got some pedigree on him. Now, on one hand, Neil Druckmann showing up here, considering the things that he's done to the franchise, worries me immensely. So ultimately, it boils down to who has the leadership on the writing. If Chernobyl Man is on the lead, then I do like to see that this series can go well, especially considering we had the first plot of the game, which was pretty good. If Neil is on the lead, then I'm expecting to see some seriously cringy, virtue signaling.
So basically, the crux of this situation would be who would be at the helm in terms of the creative direction.
Exactly. See, on one hand, if we just leave the writing to the writer, and Mr. Druckmann can stay on the side and offer ideas every now and then that we might listen to, I believe we can get something good out of this. But if Druckmann takes control of the whole production and starts putting in what he thinks is the right plot to be, then we'll most likely have exactly what happened with The Walking Dead. Started out strong, veered out into nothing, and people forgot about it.
No, I think I completely agree.
So I'm kind of juggling my expectations here, like, hey, man, this could be good, this could be bad.
I
want to hope it'll be good.
I'm also 50-50 because there has been a long history of movies and TV shows based off of video game franchises, and the ratio of that bar is a majority of them don't exactly work.
It is kind of hard to actually control, putting a video game plot into another medium is kind of hard because video games, the reason they distinguish themselves from other forms of media is because they add a level of interactivity. You cannot read a book wrong. You cannot fail watching a movie. It's an experience. You just go point A to point B, not to look down on those. But with a video game, you add the element of interactivity. You can lose. You can fail. The difficulty brings you frustration when you fail, and it brings you elation and joy when you win. That's something that you cannot do.
There's also the fact that the Last of Us franchises, right? There's also the part of the franchise of The Last of Us, because of the second game and because of the lackluster reaction that they've gotten. Well,
not lackluster, polarizing is
polarizing, more 50-50 reaction. So coming out with preparing a TV show, it can either hurt them or make them, depending on, as you said, the creative direction.
Exactly. Depending on who gets a hold of the idea, it could work out, and the fact that they're working on the first one, it could. And,
indeed.
There is no 50-50. That's the PR campaign. The data has shown that A, they have consistently refused to show the total sales numbers. B, the game has experienced an astounding 85% drop-off by week 2. C, GameStop is still refusing to return the copies. And D, every single post out of Delmac's Twitter is nothing more but passive-aggressive defense. Consider the fact, the people that send death threats to Laura and to him are pieces of shit. That is not cool. Don't do that. They did that with that girl that played Arauz in Star Wars. Not cool, bro.
They're just actors playing the part.
However,
they're just doing their job. Go on.
I need to ask a question.
What's your question?
By all means.
You notice that they are focusing on those things as a way to creepily avoid every other criticism. They're going to use that as a wall and basically say, because somebody threatened death on me, I don't need to listen to anyone else. Don't you find it a little funny that the death threats begin to roll in just after it's being all but confirmed that the game is a massive fucking failure? I mean, if people hated them so much as to post death threats, those would have been some of the first comments that they received. More importantly, Laura Bailey has a very long, varied history in voice acting. And she's voiced a lot of really, really shitty characters. Not shittily as in the character is bad, but the character is bad itself. And I guarantee you, a lot of people hated a lot of the characters that she's voiced. But only now she's getting death threats.
Yeah.
I'm not calling conspiracy, but I'm saying this feels a little like, what was it? Like
Contrived.
In Bayonetta 1, the timing is a little too perfect. And, the action is a little too brazen. I'm not saying it's not plausible, because let's be honest, shitty people exist everywhere. Yes. And the idea of somebody using death threats on somebody who has no guilt or responsibility on it, it is not unknown. But the fact that it happened now, and it's being used as a shield to protect against all criticism.
No.
You know who didn't get death threats? The kid that played Joffrey in Game of Thrones.
And Joffrey was a shit.
His character is one of the most disliked characters in fiction for being a little shit. And I'm pretty sure that Joffrey either didn't get death threats, or if he did, they just conveniently ignore them because it doesn't matter. Right. The fact that they're bringing them up now, it's a defense mechanism. It's a reaction. It's a no, please don't point at our shitty game and tell us how bad it is.
Like,
so yeah.
For the record,
this is bull right here.
So Juan, what are your thoughts?
Okay, for the record, the major criticisms that I've seen about the game aren't about the gameplay. It's not about the design. It looks beautiful. It plays like a dream.
It lacks your PS4. That's how beautiful it looks.
Oh yeah, that is an issue.
Like as in it runs on such a high level that it causes your PS4 to lag.
Polygon, stop!
Yeah, that's another thing.
No,
but go on.
As in like it was built on such a high caliber of quality. You remember the whole thing about Transformers 2 causing the servers at ILM to melt, and Industrial Light and Magic to melt?
His crowning achievement. Nothing he'll ever do will be as cool as that.
Right. Basically, Naughty Dog set out to do that to everyone's PS4 in terms of the quality of their game.
We got 10 hours worth of cutscene and 5 hours of gameplay.
Now, hang on a minute. What is the bone in contention?
The bone in contention is the story and how it's executed.
Yeah.
You can still have the tale of Allie being out for revenge and
bad
and coming to the conclusion of revenge bad, but the way that it was executed is basically to make and it was not.
Imagine John Wick not shooting yours.
No, imagine John Wick shooting the dog and blaming everyone else.
That's actually a very good. That's a fair comparison. It sucks, but yes.
After the amount of blood that Ellie shits just to get to this point,
just to get to Abby,
letting her go is an insult to both the concept of revenge and all the people she can. How many Ellies did she make on her way here?
No, worse. As was recalled over here, she was like Abby was just going out to find Joel and kill him and have a revenge on him, and we don't know how long she'd been at it, which it goes to show you that it's very likely that in her own bloody campaign of revenge,
Oh, it's all confirmed.
that she has killed other dudes named Joel
Many.
who had nothing to do with any of it.
And let's not forget, she didn't just kill him. She tortured him. She blew off his leg with a shotgun, and then instead of killing him immediately and getting her revenge, she grabbed the golf club and went the
bludgeoned him
full
to
9
death.
yards. Like, see, when you do that, when you go out of your way to be cruel to the victim, any moral high ground that you had,
Goes out the window.
go.
That is fucking
Like-
disgusting. And how the hell do
We root for the Punisher because we know he's killing scum. But we know Joel enough to know that he deserved a better end than that.
Yeah.
However, on the other hand, it can also be argued that the shit that had been happening, that it came up as a result of the stuff going on in Last of Us Part 2, is a direct consequence of the shit that Joel's done. So he's no innocent.
No, he never was.
Like,
In
but-
fact, I will be the first to tell you that if he was gonna die in this game, I'd be like, no, yeah, that makes sense for
like,
his
yeah,
character. But
it's
his
sad,
death-
but this death felt like a bitch death.
There's also the fact that Abby literally comes out of fucking nowhere. Oh no, the random doctor that you kill happened to have a child. And she's the best child in the world. Look how she cares for all these dogs and she helps people. And she bitches 3,000 million. You know who did this better?
Who?
No More Heroes 2. The final boss wants to kill you specifically for that reason. But guess who his parents were? Who his family was?
Who?
Complete nobodies that you kill on a first bonus mission. They don't even have normal models. They don't even get dialogue. You just kill them and you're done. And then on the second game, this crazy motherfucker voiced by Yuri Lowenthal shows up and starts shit with you. The point of the game is you are killing people. Okay? Like, you can't...
Killing is wrong regardless.
Yeah, exactly. There's no NPCs. The people that you killed and forgot, they still have loved ones. But Last of Us doesn't do that. They emphasize the fuck out of the fact that you killed the doctors. Except, this time, you're forced to play as Jasper Bad Jr., the guy who is antagonizing Travis. And you're just as unlikable. And the fact that the game immediately tries to, after you kill Joel, you have to play 10 hours as Abby. As the game desperately tries to make you like this person. Like her! Fucking do it!
Why?
And demand that you like this person!
One simple fix could have redeemed people's view on this. You could keep the criticism of, oh, Abby doesn't look realistic. You could keep all this stuff. Like, people
Remove
complain.
that horrible sex scene, though, please.
No, they're not.
You know what?
Please! I beg of you.
You know
gonna
what?
do it.
Tweak it a little, but like it's
China removed it.
well, China's got their
Only
own.
time I ever agree with them on anything, let me tell you that.
Simple. Take Abby's story and put it on first.
Yes.
That's
Build it up.
like, okay, well, why are we playing as this new person? Oh, hey, this should. Oh my God!
There we go.
Have the shock of it go there,
That
and
would've
then
been
play as Ellie going on her own rampage of revenge,
Build it up, then give me the climax. Like that.
and still have the moral outrage of like, oh, well, no, I'm not gonna kill her. That'll make me just as bad. Like Ellie lost 2 fingers to Abby, like
Oh,
she bit him off Gollum
And she lost
style.
her girl.
Wow, it's just like Frodo.
It's just like Frodo.
She lost her girlfriend and her child too. When she came back, she left her.
God.
So Ellie's just left trying to play guitar. She cannot play.
She can't
because
play anymore
has no
because she's missing
finger.
2 fingers.
And I'm like, yeah, that's great, but no. But yeah, no, see, you made it good.
Simple.
Make me give a
Simple.
shit.
It's okay.
Bring it.
Naughty Dog, listen. It's okay. I will be expecting a check. My Cash App is
Oh my
$$5
God.
the Juan Show. Go ahead and send me. I'm not gonna ask for a lot. It's just $1 million. You'll be okay.
Hey.
You got that. Simple.
You know
Just
what
take
else
that. Last of Us Part 2 Ultimate Edition. Just take that, flip it,
It's not
and
that
that's
hard.
it. And that will take the context of the story. It'll take the dynamic of the story, and it'll blow everyone's fucking minds away.
There's another.
That's it.
Hang on.
$1 million from Naughty Dogs right
There's
now.
the fact that
Cash
Abby,
at me.
for all her talk about
I
revenge,
got Venmo.
she never experiences any remorse for her actions. She doesn't seem to care at all. Like, for all the talk that the game does about revenge bad, Abby essentially gets everything she wanted. The fact that her friends died on the process, she doesn't seem to give a single flying fuck about them. She never mentions them again. She never talks about them. And after Ellie lets her go, you fucking idiot, she just wanders off. The fact that the character doesn't show any emotion or remorse or anything over what they did means that it makes it even harder to care about them. I apologize for jumping back into it, but
Yeah, I was going to say, we're kind of jumping back into the same argument of The Last of Us that we did 2 weeks ago.
Look at Attack on Titan. Reiner, Berthold, and Annie are the shifters. Their actions resulted in the deaths of thousands of innocent people and the creation of Eren Yeager, which is now the person who is going to destroy the world. Mm-hmm. How they feel about it, how hard they got hit by their actions, forms the core of the character and the reason why they're still so likable and understandable. You don't have to like them, but you can understand them because they were dumb child soldiers that didn't know any better.
Right.
And forced to live among the people they killed, forced them to empathize. It hit Reiner so bad he developed a split personality because he couldn't cope with it. That's the tragedy of Reiner.
Like
that's how you make the characters. Show them affected by the consequences of their actions.
Well, fortunately, based on what you've told me, the guys who are making the HBO series of The Last of Us, they're going by the storyline for the first game.
Which was a pretty good story.
Yes.
Also, we got the writer of Chernobyl. Fantastic show. Highly recommend.
Juan, what are your thoughts about this? Because Angel and I, we've already detailed it. We've already agreed that basically the crux of it is that depending on the creative direction, if done right, you know, it can actually work.
I got the Millennium Scales in my hand, and I'm seeing which way they're going to tip.
As far as the HBO series goes, we don't have to worry about this thing until 2021.
Oh, geez.
So next year.
Far.
Next year.
Ah.
Okay. Now, considering that it's being produced by one of the creators of the Chernobyl series, which I actually done research on, and
so good, dude.
It's so fucking good.
It's sad as shit, but it's so good, though.
Yeah. Now, take that type of direction and apply it to the story of The Last of Us.
You could get some good stuff.
You can get some good stuff out of it. What the deciding factor will be is it will be in how much of the reins Neil Fuckman is willing to loosen up on.
Yeah, we gotta give that guy a tight leash because
if
it was a Hideo Kojima game, I'd be happy to let that crazy motherfucker run wild because he knows how to have what's the word?
Fun. Fun.
But when it comes,
hang on, we're trying to help Angel out. This is speech therapy.
Come on, it's 3 letters, 1 word, syllable.
Okay, Angel, over here. Look, okay, very simple. Say fuck.
Fuck.
Okay.
Hey, he sweared.
No, okay. Now say nah.
Nah.
Now give me the nah without the ah at the end.
Fuck.
I can
do this.
All right, take the CK out. Nah.
Fun.
Hang on,
You
let me
got it. Almost got it.
Let's go. Fun.
Fun.
Yes.
Fun. Yes. We've got fun.
God, that was painful.
Indeed.
I'm never doing that again.
I hope
I had
that.
fun once. It was terrible.
I get you. When it comes to this storyline, there has to be some sort of compromise and yes, changes need to be made for the sake of the story.
You can't cram the storyline and I mean, okay, how do I put this? A game has like filler sections, which is the gameplay, because otherwise it would just be cutscene after cutscene after cutscene. You gotta bridge that together when you make a show, and
so long as you
could do it.
So long as you don't oversaturate it with storyline changes that would take away from the source material.
Keep the idea. Keep the solids. That's why I still believe a Metal Gear Solid TV series is possible. Even if it was just animated, I would happily give my money for it.
Of course.
Why that great?
Angel.
Why are you putting all these swear words on the screen? What is wrong with you?
We've got fun.
All I see is pixelated purple.
You can
like
see
hentai.
fun, right?
You know, it's not going to take a lot for YouTube to red flag us for this.
You don't understand. My eyes, they are not used to fun. As a result, they only see censorship.
How do you have 20/20 vision with those glasses?
I don't.
He's got 30/30 vision.
I'm from here fucking blind. I think I killed like 3 people. If the police come here and ask me something, don't worry. I'll be gone soon. Don't worry.
That being said,
4 people. I'm sorry.
That being said, I think we can all come to the conclusion. As mentioned earlier, the crux is who would have it would be the creative direction of the storyline for this upcoming series. Changes need to be made. Compromises need to be made for the series.
You think the fuckman's going to give any compromises? The guy went out of his way to not compromise on the story for The Last of Us or The Last of Us Part 2. He got ahead by not compromising.
Never compromise. Not even in the face of failing price tags. Never compromise. Well,
even in the face of Armageddon.
Oh, by the way, he's turned recently to the I always planned to make this character a hateful piece of shit, and I'm like, then why were you?
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You wanted everyone to be endeared to Abby. Well, like, we can't endear to her if the first thing we see her do is murder a main character. You have to have us build up to her. Have us believe in her first.
Or at least have her the consequence of her action hit her. She's been killing people in cold blood for God knows how long. That's not a main character.
Have her figure out a coping mechanism of some kind. Does she have one? We don't know.
I get maybe it's consuming entire jars of protein powder.
Yeah, no.
Hey, that worked. Shooting back on this, you know what I wish would turn into a TV show?
What?
Samurai Jack should be a TV show.
It's already a TV show.
It's already a TV show.
Live action TV show.
Oh, live action?
I know. It's tricky, but if we could get Mr. Tarkovsky to work on that, he could do it. The man got his inspiration from samurai movies.
It's likely going to be a Netflix live action show. I don't see this.
I would still do it.
I know. I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't. I don't see this airing on national television.
I don't care. Put it on Netflix. Make that shit R-rated. Having caught up a bunch of robots with beautiful blood. Oil flying everywhere.
Haku!
Dude,
and have Haku CG'd, whatever. How the hell is we going to do?
It's a shadow. Haku literally has. He's just.
It's a shadow of his giant ass smile.
He's a 2D plane. Also, the shadow, the smile is supposed to be like a hint to the masks.
I love Haku.
Look forward to the action game coming soon in the style of DMC, the Samurai Jack game, which has probably one of the coolest lines ever, which is, what was that again? Your struggle will be never ending. And Jack replies, everything ends, even the future. I'm like, damn, son. Like I say, I understand it would be difficult, but I like to think they could do it. All you gotta do is get Phil Lamar to voice over the character.
Oh my god.
He'll be fine. They can do it. He can pull it off. I believe in Gendy because I swear to God, that is like the one person in the entire animation industry that has never let me down. That dude is like the fucking goose with the golden egg. Every single egg just shits out gold.
Like, why not have him do a live action version of Primal?
Look, you know what? I think the CG for the T-Rex might be too much. Fang is in literally every episode. She's like 50% of the. She's the Yoshi to Spears Mario.
Good point.
Yeah. You guys haven't finished seeing that show yet, have you?
Well, it hasn't come back from hiatus, has it?
No, not yet. There was that one episode with the plague. Have you seen that one yet?
No.
Please watch the plague episode. It's pretty fucking good. It's Primal.
All right. We'll check that out.
But a single bad episode of that.
But getting back here on the subject, regardless of what we said in regards to the creative direction for the show, I don't think it's going to matter because just like there's an audience that actually likes The Last of Us 2, there will be an audience that will eat up the show that's coming out next year, regardless of what direction it goes.
Here's the thing: it's like you're going to have everyone who liked the original Last of Us very likely be on board for this series.
I guarantee you, as long as it follows the formula of the first game, everybody will be on board. But the second they see a hint of the second, the viewership is going to drop.
It'll drop like a rock in the
drop like my bowel movements.
Yep.
You're
thinking about it, not me.
Yeah.
No,
so all we can do is hope and wait once more.
Pretty much, and I think that's pretty much it. I think we pretty much nailed the head on the whole thing.
Now, like we said, we're taking this with a grain of salt, namely because we just got these announcements, and we're only just now getting started with seeing how people are going to be reacting to the show. If it works out, great, fine. If not, then also...
We tried.
Yeah. You did a
Or rather, they tried.
At least you tried.
At least you tried. Throw it away.
See, that's the problem. This show right now is the only way for that franchise to get back on its feet. After the reception of the second one, it is edging dangerously close to the 8 deadly words. I don't care what happens to these people. When the show becomes so, I'm not going to say dreary, dark, and depressing, because you can have all of that and the show can still be good and you can care about the characters.
Uninteresting.
When the show becomes so uninteresting and every character becomes so unlikable that you just don't give a shit anymore, when you go from dislike to apathy, you're very close to burying that thing on the ground, never coming back. So that show right now is the only chance they have to bring back the love. Because right now, I can tell you, nobody cares about The Last of Us 3.
No.
The Last of Us.
Is there even going to be a 3? Probably not.
Probably not after the disaster of the 2.
They left it open to like a sewer hole.
But then again, no, they left it open the same way the ending of the Super Mario Brothers movie was left open. Oof.
Oh, come on.
Oh, yeah.
That movie at least was entertaining.
Yeah. Like, that's one of the reasons why I actually like the fucking movie. I don't care what anyone else says.
I like the movie, too.
To twist the words of Mr. Shigeru Miyamoto, a bad movie can eventually be funny. but a boring movie will forever
It would be bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's, yeah.
You can laugh at bad, but you cannot stand boring. Because boring is the antithesis of the reason we pursue entertainment.
Like one example that I've shared with you guys, and you've actually seen me do, and for like, let me put it this way: I like Jude Law, I like Gwyneth Paltrow,
Yes.
I very much like Angelina Jolie.
Yes.
But when you put them together in Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow, I could not get that DVD back to the GameStop fast enough.
Remember, after a while, we were making jokes, and then after a while, we just stopped making jokes and went, dude, I can't stand this movie.
It was
boring.
What was the main character's deal?
I don't even fucking care.
You know what? I forgot his goal.
Same.
They were robots, right?
There was like robots that looked really weird, and it was moving slowly.
It was World War II or something.
No, like between World War I and II or whatever. And there was this thing with Gwyneth Paltrow not getting the right camera, like the right
I forgot
picture.
that was Gwyneth Paltrow.
No, I couldn't forget that because like that was part of like one of the things that she did in the production of Iron Man. In the first Iron Man movie, she's like, well, I was in this the green screen movie called Sky Captain, and I had to imagine everything around me. At least here, when I'm being chased by the Ironmonger, I was chased by this dude with this giant cardboard cutout, so I had to act against that.
Wow.
At least that gave me something to act against.
Also, I'm sorry. Every time you say Jude Law, all I can think about is Yula, the bad guy from the one from Jet Li.
Oh God!
Yula, you are here for me, and I am here for you.
All I can think about is
there will be only one. I won't be the one.
It ended with Papa Roach.
Neither will you.
All I can think about is the bad guy Jan Rog from Captain Marvel.
I think about Watson. I think about Alfie.
Was he the one that got blasted at the end?
Yes, him.
Wow, that was...
Now's the time! Now!
No!
Like, no, I don't have to.
This
Why?
is like Doom guy with a super shotgun having an undead basically taunt him like...
That's like Indiana Jones shooting that one guy after he showing up.
Okay.
Let's be honest, that is the best. I don't care about Captain Marvel, but that is the best part of the movie.
That is the best part.
Because generally, dude, I'm a Super Saiyan. Shut up!
Like, I'm not gonna prove myself to you.
Fuck off!
I love that.
That was, I'm like, okay, that's like the one good part about that movie. No complaints on that.
Also, Nick Fury.
Where is fucking Doctor Strange?
Wait until the Multiverse of Madness.
I want my multi-universe. Dude, imagine
Sam Raimi.
the visual effects. Imagine the visual effects. Imagine what they're gonna do with that movie, dude.
All I know is he
drugs. Drugs will bring your hype down if you're watching it.
Well, the best we can do, folks, is pay attention online on the internet for upcoming news on that and on anything else that is exciting, that is awesome, that is nerd-related, because that is what we do on the Ravens Flock. We go online, we find out anything that's been going on, and we get together and talk about it, and we invite all of you to speak up and talk with us.
Hey, we're more accurate than Fox News.
Indeed.
Not exactly a high bar.
No, not a high
The
bar.
Fox does not know what's up. That being,
what does the Fox say?
Lies.
Oh yeah, well, fuck that.
indeed, never trust the Fox, and never trust that lion peacock either.
God damn it.
The only Fox I ever trust is Nick Wilde because he's actually a good cop.
There's only one Fox that I trust. His name was Frank Yeager. Gray Fox.
Gray Fox. All right, folks, this is another awesome episode of the Ravens Flock. I think it's about time to wrap things up. Something we didn't mention earlier. Oh, actually, you know what? We'll mention it later. Juan, plug us away.
Thank you very much for watching this week's live stream edition of the Ravens Flock. Thank you for watching us, and please consider subscribing to us, and please share this video to all your friends. Continue to follow us on Facebook.com/RavensFlock, Twitter.com/RavensFlock13, Instagram.com/RavensFlockOnline, home of the Wednesday Night War, Twitch.tv/RavensFlockOnline, home of Los Amigos Play Live, and of course, subscribe to us here. Hit the notification bell, which is located...
I'll take it right here. Be sure to subscribe to us. Hit the notification bell, which will be right over here. And during our streams, leave a comment and leave us questions. If you're watching from the desktop, leave your comments right here on this part of the screen. Or if you're watching from a mobile device, leave your comments down below, and we will respond to you on the duration that we are live. And remember that youtube.com/theravensflock, home of Los Amigos Play and the Black Files, and of course, our flagship show.
As usual, we would like to extend our thanks to whatever few or many of you are out there listening to what we have to say. This is a labor of love. Ultimately, we do it because we want our voices heard, and we hope that if you hear us and listen to us, somehow, in some way, shape, or form, we have been useful to you.
And if you actually care to support the Ravens Flock, we do have our merch store still open. Teespring.com/store/the Ravens Flock. Our shipping promo code is still active. FShip 2020. For any purchase, you'll be helping us keep the lights on. You'll be helping us try to make something of this because we want to continue working on this. We want to continue doing this as a labor of passion, but the shit ain't cheap.
Indeed. If you enter the promo code FShip2020, you'll receive free shipping and handling on all your purchased ymits.
Because, hey, as they say, this is a labor of love, but the bills gotta get paid, and maintaining the walls is hard.
That's hard.
The blessing of our glorious founder, Ymir Fritz.
God damn it!
But until then, we are the Ravens Flock, and we are